Hey everybody, welcome to the BJKU Certified AI Strategist program. Today, we are answering the most frequently asked questions about this AI gig. Whether you're looking to transform your career, you want to start a brand new business, or you just want to use AI in your current business to help you be more efficient. And today, I'm going to answer the simple question of what the heck do we sell? What do we do for a small business owner? And if you are a small business owner, what should I implement? In reality, there's only 9 things in this AI world that make any sense, and I've never seen a single business that needs all 9 of these. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to go over each one of these and explain, really importantly, that these are not just a nice to have thing, but these solve problems. So remember this, if you're going to become an AI strategist, the one thing we need to understand is that we're not product pushers or service pushers, we are problem solvers. And when we have conversations about chatbots or voice bots or any of these AI automations, we don't just put them in because they're cool and hip and hypey. We put them in or install them in a business because it solves a problem they are already experiencing. Remember, each one of these AI automations should do one of 3 things or all 3 of them. Make them money, save them time. And today, when we talk about each one of these, I'm going to refer to them as the problem that they solve, not just the thing that they are. I hope that makes sense. Let me give you an example. Chatbots are a really cool AI automation. And there's a lot of pieces of software, and you can create your own customized chatbots or whatever. But listen, chatbots are cool, but the problem that a chatbot solves is more important. What problem does a chatbot solve? Well, if someone gets too many messages, text messages, WhatsApp messages, social media messages, email. Anytime they're getting too many text messages coming in, a chatbot does a really good job at answering questions, qualifying sales leads, booking appointments, whatever it ends up being. If someone has a chatbot on their website because people have way too many questions and there's no one there sitting on a website to answer questions, a chatbot does a fantastic job at that. So if you are going to sell or install a chatbot in someone else's business or your own business, it needs to solve that problem. Bashar is a great example. Bashar has 2.2 million followers on Instagram, and the guy gets like 800 or 900 messages per day. It's insane. Even if he wanted to respond to every single one of these, he physically couldn't keep up. That's why he uses a chatbot to manage most of his Instagram messages. Of course, he still talks to people. Of course, he still takes over here and there. But the vast majority of it is frequently asked questions. How do I find this product? How do I buy this thing? How do I schedule an appointment? And that's easy questions a chatbot can answer. So if you're looking at a business that you're trying to help or your own business and you get too many emails, too many social media messages, too many whatever, you might want to consider a chatbot. Number 2 is a voice bot. This one solves a very particular problem. Do you get too many phone calls and do you miss too many phone calls? The average small business owner here in the United States loses about $126,000 a year because they missed phone calls. And it sounds crazy, it sounds wild, it sounds out there. But again, you're a plumber, you got a wrench in one hand and a flashlight in another, and water is smacking you in the face, and your phone rings. Do you answer the phone? Probably not. Not because you're lazy, but because you're in the middle of a job, you're working hard. And then you go home and you're having dinner with your kids and you're trying to have a connection for the first time in the day. How's school? What's going on? Do you have any homework? What'd you learn today? How'd you have fun? What happened? And the phone rings again. Now that guy has a decision to make, doesn't he? Am I going to ignore my kids and answer the phone? Or am I going to drop another $200, $300, $400 job because I need to connect with my kids? Voice bots are fantastic because they can answer the phone for you after hours. They can answer during hours. They can answer if you miss the phone call. It's just a really nice automation that allows you to answer the phone professionally, the way you want it answered, in an automated fashion. And it will do the same thing. Collect leads, get information, answer questions, book appointments. Voice bots are fantastic. And I think the year 2026 here, this year, I think this is going to be the year almost every small business is going to need a voice bot. Now, number 3, lead generation. This one is fascinating because it's been around for a while, more than ChatGPT or anything else, all the new AI language models and stuff. Lead generation is a big bucket, but one of the easiest ways to describe lead generation is what we call lead scraping. Lead scraping is a thing that goes through, it's a little robot, basically, a piece of software, if you will, that basically goes through the internet and scrapes a whole bunch of things. Hey, I want 100 plumbers who live in Boise, Idaho. And it goes, brrr, and it comes up with a list and spits it out into an Excel spreadsheet for you. So for some businesses, they want to contact plumbers, and they do that. For some businesses, they want to contact homeowners, and you can scrape those list of leads together for those people, and you can sell it. Now, again, lead generation is a big bucket. It's not just one thing. So I don't have time to do the whole thing on lead gen today, but I want you to just have an idea that you can automate lead generation through advertising, through marketing, through email campaigns, through all sorts of stuff. And there's a lot of pieces to lead gen, but let's move on to customer support. And here's what's fascinating. The statistic is 52% of companies do not answer a single customer support email. So I'm sure you've experienced this. I know I've experienced this, where you send an email out to a company. I've got a question, I've got a problem, there's something wrong, a billing problem, a software problem, something, and they just never respond. And here you are 3-4 days later thinking, man, I still don't have my problem solved. Now, does that make you want to do more or less business with that company? Less, of course. And as a small business owner, I don't know about you, but I can't afford to let those small customer problems and mistakes happen over and over and over again. I want to fix them before they become a big problem and customers start leaving. So customer support is fascinating because AI and automations allow you to answer simple questions. It also allows you to elevate support tickets, because what I find is that as a software company, as an example, I have some really high-level techie people who spend all day answering dumb questions. I don't mean to sound harsh, but people said, how do I log in? How do I find my password? Well, this guy up here who's making $200,000 a year as a software developer should not be answering those questions, right? They should be answering questions that are more complex, tougher, more difficult, whatever it is. But customer support is fantastic for e-commerce, for retail, for any kind of website that someone is going to ask a question when they're already a customer. Next up is content generation. And there's not a single business on the planet that has enough content to go on social media to promote their products and services. And the interesting thing is, what is social media? What is marketing? What is advertising? It's words and pictures. And what does AI do really well? Words and pictures. So you can help small businesses with their content generation. And I know if you're wanting to become an AI strategist, you probably don't come here because you want to be a social media marketing manager, but we would be stupid to ignore the fact that AI does an incredible job at words and pictures, and it can help you create content to promote people's businesses for them. So keep that in mind. Next up, reputation management. This is massive because most businesses don't even ask for reviews. If they do ask for reviews, they don't follow up to see if the customer actually did a review for them. And when someone does submit a review, they never respond. So what's fascinating today, right now, your Google rankings will depend on how many reviews you have and how high of a ranking you have. So our job as AI strategists is to help them build automations that ask every single customer for a review. It reminds the customer if they haven't reviewed, it sends them a couple reminders. And when they do leave a review, it responds with a really nice, heartfelt message. And we can do all that with AI automations. Now, these next three are a little bit trickier. And when I explain these, I want you to understand that, again, they solve very particular problems. I'll start with the automated invoicing, just kind of jumping ahead here for just a second. I know a lot of very successful, very wealthy companies who still create all of their invoices by hand. They go on to Canva, or they go into a Word doc, or they go create an Excel spreadsheet, and they physically write in the same number that they write in every single month, and they send that invoice to their customer or client. When in reality, that should never be handled by a person. It should just be automated. And one of the things that we can do with AI automation easily is we can do custom quotes. We can do similar quotes. We can do all kinds of things. We can help them with payment processing. We can help them with a lot of different stuff. But if a business or a company doesn't have an easy way to automatically send invoices, to automatically change them, to automatically get payments, all right, that's a big problem. The last two here, number one is onboarding, and onboarding is an important one Because if a company has a high turnover rate, meaning they hire employees, the employees quit right away, it's not always because it's a bad place to work. It's usually because the new employee is overwhelmed or overloaded. Because even if you're an expert in that job, when you go into a new company, what's the first thing you ask? Like, what the heck should I be doing? And if you don't have a proper onboarding sequence that basically says, hey, Bob, you come in our company, we're super glad you're here. Here's the first 3 things you should do. Step 1, step 2, step 3. After you get that done, here's what it is. Because clarity creates that confidence. And when someone comes into a new job, a new company, a new role, if they don't feel like they know everything, they feel lost and confused and they end up leaving. But this is the same thing for a business that's selling a product. If someone gets your product and they don't know what to do next, or if they don't get like notifications, like your product is on the way, it's being shipped or whatever it is, all of those AI automations, and I say AI, but they're really automations, aren't they? Simple automations that say, here's the status of your product. Here's the status of your order. Here's where you can find more information. Here's what you can do with the product. Once you get the product, here's how to maintain it. All of these things are great examples of onboarding that lower turnover rate and lower refund rates. So if a company has really high refund rates or a really high turnover rate, an AI automated onboarding sequence would be really helpful. The very last one is hiring. This one is quite a bit more complex. If you're just getting started in your AI strategist career here, or you have this problem in your own business, it's going to take a little bit of research. But let me tell you that I know 3 people off the top of my head that are making millions of dollars a year simply by helping companies automate their hiring process. Now, you might say that's good, that's bad, but put yourself in the shoes of an HR department for a large company. My sister is a good example. She works in an accounting division of a very large company, and they only need to hire 1 more person in her accounting division, but they put up this job, and within 2 days, they had 3,000 applications for this job. Now, how the heck is an HR person supposed to go through 3,000 applications? They can't. They physically can't go through that many, especially when they need to hire someone this month or they're fired, right? I mean, it's crazy. So one thing we can do as AI strategists is we can help intake all of those forms, and we can use AI automations to rank the people based on what's the best fit for the role. And it can give us suggestions of who we should interview for that role. Now, is that always perfect? No, of course not. But imagine, is an HR person perfect every time? No, of course not. So one of the things that we want to try to do is refine that process so it gets better and better every single time. So large companies who are hiring a lot of people consistently need this help desperately, and they're willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, to get this problem solved. So listen, I know I went really fast here today, and I wanted to share with you the answer to this question. What the heck do I sell, or what the heck do I build? And this is it. 9 AI automations that will make you money, and save you time. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.